Okay. So Bishop Durham, if you can give me, that was a test.
Okay.
So this is more we're starting. So if you can give me your name again, your date of birth, and where you were born.
Well, I was born Walter Carleson Durham. That's the first time. My second name is Bishop Walter C. Durham. That's when I was born spiritually. And I was born in January 16, 1945 in Canton, Ohio.
Okay. And your denomination, what is it? Is it
Church of God in Christ United.
Church of God in Christ United?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Okay.
we are split off from the Churches of God in Christ.
Okay, because there's also the Church...
God in Christ,
United Church in Christ or something like that? Is there another one?
No, not I know of.
Church, this one is out of Cleveland.
Church, there is a Church of God.
United Church of Christ. United
Right.
Church.
Oh, yeah, with Reverend Wright, yes.
Reverend Wright, okay. So that was that one.
No.
So, but this is a different one.
Yes, this is a different one.
But you know Reverend Wright is...
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Controversy.
Yeah, right, I know who he is.
Actually, my ex-wife is part of that church.
Oh, okay.
I actually joined the Methodist later, but I was part of Catholic now.
Oh, okay.
But, so, Canton, Ohio.
Yes.
Okay, what is your parents' name?
Lucille Vivian Bryant Durham, and my father was named William George Durham.
Okay, and where are they from?
They're both from Arkansas.
From Arkansas? Okay.
Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Okay. So you say we're from Arkansas, meaning that you're still in touch with the family there in Arkansas?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you go back there at all?
You know, I have not been back there in, shamefully, maybe by 30 years.
30 years?
Yeah, about 30 years, 40 years maybe.
Okay.
Even.
And so,
because I have no connection there. Now, I mean, I have a niece and nephews down there, but I don't.
your connection is more with Canton, or?
No, my connection is with Grand Rapids.
With Grand Rapids, okay.
I came to Grand Rapids at the age of 7.
Okay.
And the last two times I went back to Canton, Ohio, is I was drafted into the Army, and I stopped by just to see what my hometown was like. And I went there for a funeral, my uncle's funeral. And then the second time I went back because the church that I belonged to, the Northeast End Church of God in Christ, had invited me back to Priest Founders Day, because I was the highest ranking person to ever come out of that church. So they invited me back. And when I got there, a good deacon met me at the airport, and he said, what is the first thing that you want to see, Bishop? I said, I want to see Mars Lake. Well, Mars Lake was like amusement park, okay? And I said, I want to see that. And then I want to see Tinsley Hill. That's where I used to live. And then I want to find 1212 Concord. That was the last address that I had when I stayed with my mother. And so we were driving down the highway, and he said, well, look to your left. He said, that's Mars Lake. To my utter disappointment, it wasn't nothing but this old cow field up there now.
Okay. You dried up?
Yeah, just weeded up and everything. Mm-hmm. So then he said, well, let's go down, I'll show you where the street you're talking about. You lived on 1212 Concord. So we was driving along, and we were going across a viaduct. An expressway was underneath. He said, look over there. That's your street right there. They had made it into expressway. And then where I used to live, it was a big house. I could think of about 30, 40 rooms in this house that we lived with a lady and her man, and her husband, and her husband, who was my mother's kind of mentor. And so we stayed with them, and they, we stayed there as a family. And that's when we got there. He said, not even that was there no more. So I said, take me back to the hotel. I'm seeing nothing, so I don't want to get more disappointed anymore. So that was the last time that I went back to my hometown. I couldn't identify with anything anymore. And that was kind of a disheartening feeling.
How many years was that? How many years difference was that?
Since the second time I went,
Yeah, I mean, how many years since, because you saw it
about 40 now.
about 40 years since you had been there?
Yeah.
So is just a lot of changes and then
Oh, tremendous changes. The fact about it is, a little historical thing about that is, Canton, Ohio is where the first professional football game was played. Yeah, so that it's got a little historical thing about, and that's what the Football Hall of Fame is.
Oh, okay, Canton.
Yeah. Yeah.
And okay, so your parents' name, we didn't get that. What were your parents' name?
Like William.
We did. Did I ask you that?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and so any brothers and sisters?
I do. Well, I had
Okay.
2 brothers and 2 sisters. I got 1 sister now. She's still alive. She's 80. I'm gonna tell her age. I'm gonna make her mad, but I'll tell her age. She's 86, but she's going strong. And myself, I'm the youngest of 4 kids my mother had. And my oldest brother passed away about 5 years ago.
What's his name?
His name was Clyde Durham.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I had my sister, who just passed away,
Her name?
Peggy Yvonne Rhodes.
Okay.
And then next to me, he's 3 years older than me, William Durham. He died 1996. So he was the first of the siblings to die. So I'm all by myself, if you will. My older sister lives in Atlanta, and I'm here.
Okay. And you gave me her name too, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so your any children?
I do. I have 5 children. I don't call them children. I call them children.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 5 of them. My oldest being Dawn Pace. She is now. And then my next is Kimberly Kennedy. And then the next is a boy, and his name is Wathik Endow. And then my youngest boy is Charles David Durham.
Okay. And do they live in Canton?
No, they all were born here in Grand Rapids.
They were all born in Grand Rapids.
All born in Grand Rapids.
Okay.
It's like I said, I came here at the age of 7, and this is where I mostly reside.
Is it the same wife, same mother?
No, got 2 different mothers.
Okay, and just to add to it, whatever you don't want to say is fine. All you got to say, I'd rather not talk about it.
Oh no, that's okay.
Okay, and, all right. But so what were their names? The mothers.
Oh, the mothers. Oh, I'll let them be.
Let them be.
Yeah.
Let them be. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Because I don't have their permission.
I'm glad I said that.
Yeah, because I don't have their permission to mention that.
Okay, no, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
But the kids kind of raised together. They got to know each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I say this kind of braggadociously, but I can boast in the Lord, and that is, my children are father kids. They daddy kids. They love their daddy.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, but I'm very proud of each and every one of them. You know, they've had their ups and downs, but they're still my children.
So you came when you were 7 from Canton. Do you remember? What do you remember? Do you remember anything from Canton at that time?
You know, at the time I lived in a fantasy world in Canton. I thought Canton, Ohio was the world. I mean, I didn't know that there was a Michigan. I didn't know that. Canton, Ohio. And the good thing about it is, where we lived in the big house, it was a lot of orchard around there. So we got to play a lot of times to play in the trees and eat a lot of fruit and get a lot of sick because we ate a lot of fruit. And, remember, this is the first time I ever seen a person build a house from the ground up. There was a white gentleman. He came out and then they moved next door to it. Well, he dug a hole and they started living in the basement first, and then they just built a house around them. And I used to watch him every day and help him out a little bit, and he tried to explain some things, to me. That's one of the most exciting things I did was that.
Learning construction, a little bit of construction.
I did. But I did not promise myself I would never do any work to get my hands dirty.
Okay.
So I did promise myself that, and I didn't do it either.
So your parents, what kind of work did they do there?
My dad was he was a custodian. He was a workaholic. He had 3 jobs at a time. He liked to work. My mother,
All custodial? So different places, or?
yeah, and yard work and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. And then he owned a store at one time. Yeah, he owned a store at one time. And then my mother.
You remember the name of the store? Or?
No, I was
Okay.
I wasn't born then.
Okay. Was your mother? Okay.
Yeah,
What
that
did
was.
she do?
My mother was actually a homemaker all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Until my dad left. And actually, there was a story written about me in Esquire magazine.
Okay.
Yeah, my mother and father had been separated for
What year was this?
that the Esquires.
Escort, yeah. You remember more or less?
1980
Year and month?
80 or 81, I think it was.
80 or 81, but you know what month about? What issue?
Month? I don't. No, I don't.
Okay, summer, fall?
It was in the summertime.
Summertime. Okay.
Yeah, summertime when the
So
story.
80, 81, summertime,
Yeah,
Esquire.
yeah, that's when it started. And actually, my mother and father had been separated for 41 years. And I was married, and I was driving along one day I used to work at Lear Sigler. I was coming home, and the thought just said, I gotta see what my dad looks like. Because as I was growing up, I always asked this question, what does my dad look like? And they always told me, well, just go look in the mirror. You look in the mirror, you see your dad. I said, no, that's looking at myself. Well, they said, you look just like him. I said, no, I want to hear the tone and tenor of his voice. I want to feel his handshake or, a hug or whatever. And so that day hit me. I said, I'm going to find my daddy. So I called my brother up, the one that's 3 years older than me. I said, look, man, we're going to find Dad. He said, where is he? I said, I don't know yet. But then I did some research and found out he was living in Beloit, Wisconsin. So we went and got in the car, and I drove down there and came to, and I remember the address he lives. It says 1800 Shore Drive in Beloit, Wisconsin. And it's a project. And actually, kind of funny thing happened to it. The projects, the doors are so close together. So if you knock on one door, it sounds like you're knocking on all them doors. And so the neighbors came out, and this man come out and said, "Who are you?" And at that time, I weighed 230 pounds, and kind of stocky built there. My brother was about the same size. He said, "Who are y'all?" I kept looking us up and down. And said, "Well, we're William Durham's sons. Can you tell us where you live?" He said, "Yeah, he lived right next door here." And then by that time, his wife came to the door. And when his wife came to the door, she said, Who are you all? He said, "Well, we're William Durham's son." She looked at my brother. She looked at me. She said, "Well, I don't know who he is, but I know who you are, because you look just like your daddy." I said, come all these many miles to hear somebody say the same thing after I did. So finally we knocked on the door, and he was married then. When we knocked on the door, his wife came to the door and asked us, could she help us? I said, "Yes, ma'am. We're looking for our dad." We said, "Your dad?" I said, "William Durham. Does he live here?" "Yeah, but he ain't got no kids." I said, "Yes, ma'am, he does. We're 2 sons. And he got 2 more kids, or 3 more kids." And so by that time, she hollered up to him upstairs. He was up watching the baseball game. He's a Cub fan, right? And she said,
Was a Cub fan?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm a Cub fan.
You a Cub fan? And he said, "You better come down here, William. There's some people down there, these old big old boys down here saying they're your boys." And he hollered back, and he was cussing and carrying on. He says, "I ain't got no boys. What you lying about?" So finally he comes downstairs. As soon as he got down to the steps, he looked and said, "Oh my God." Yeah. Now my dad's a crier. He'll cry at the drop of a hat. You know me. He said, my boys. Well, he left when I was a year old, so he didn't know really what I looked like. and I didn't never laid eyes on him personally until that moment right there. And he got us mixed up, me. And we both had nicknames. My brother, he was called Podgy and I was called Snicker. And so he got kind of mixed up. But when he finally did, we sat down and we started talking. The first thing my dad asked me, he said, son, do you hate me? I said, no, sir. So he asked my brother, he said, do you hate me? My brother never answered him. He said, well, I can understand that y'all should be hating me. And then he asked me again, he said, well, why don't you hate me? I said, why should I hate you? He said, well, because I wasn't there. I said, no, I didn't, I didn't have anything to do with you leaving, so I can't be mad at you about that. I miss your presence, but I wasn't mad. And of course, he got to cry some more, you know what I mean? And then we, that's how we first got acquainted. Then after we left there, we did not make contact until 10 years after that. And I had moved out to Denver, Colorado to live. And my mother came out to live with us. She was very sickly and was taking care of her, my wife and I at the time. And she was just sickly all the time and moped around the house. One thing she loved to do was go to church. She loved the church, okay? Of course, that's where I get mine from, is she loved the church. But so one day I just was telling my wife, I don't know what to do to get my mother happy. I hate to see her mope around like that. And I got to praying about it. And finally the Lord said to me, he said, get on the phone and call your father. So I got on the phone and called and I said, hello, Dad. And he was surprised to hear from me and, glad after 10 years, right? I said, wait a minute, I got somebody for you to talk to, just like this. So I handed the phone to my mother. She said, who is this? I said, you just talk, Mama. And she said, hello. And he said, hello. And she broke out into a smile and she called his name. She hadn't seen him in 41 years, And they got to talking back and forth. They talked a long time. And then she finally just handed me the phone. She said, you know what your dad said to me? I said, no, ma'am. What did he say? He want me to come down there and marry him. I said, when you want to go, Mom? Just like that. I said, when you want to go? She said, I ain't going nowhere unless he send me a ticket. And he don't send me no ticket, I'm not going. Yeah. I said, that's all, Mom? I can buy the ticket. She said, no, you can't buy it. He got to buy it. He want me to come. She's all stubborn, So I said, Dad, Mama said, if you send her the ticket, she'll be on that plane. He said, oh, well, you go to Western Union. I'm going to send you the money. So now where I lived in Denver and where Western Union that I knew was about 25 miles away because I had to go all the way downtown in Denver. So I hopped in my car, flew downtown, right? I get down there, and I knew if he had said at the time that he said he was going to, it should have been there waiting on me. I get down there, no ticket. I was hurt. I just started crying. I said, oh, my dad let me down, let me down. I'm crying all the way back home. Then I get back home, I'm trying to straighten myself in, and I come through the door with my head down and everything. And so my wife and my mother said, well, where you been? So where you think I've been? I've been down to the Western Union to get the tickets, and the ticket ain't there. I mean, the money's not there. They said, yes, it is. I said, no, it isn't. I said, you went to the wrong Western Union. The Western Union was about 5 minutes away from the house. So I went over there and hurried up and got there, and we went out to the airport and got that ticket and put my mother on the airplane. And then after she got in with the boy, she wanted to, they said, well, we want to make this right. We want to get married. I said, all right. And so we made arrangements for my mother and the dad to get married. But we came to Grand Rapids to do it.
So he was in Beloit, though?
They were in Beloit. And I was in Denver.
But you came to Grand Rapids for the marriage?
At our old church, Sherman Street Church of God in Christ.
Okay.
Yeah,
what address is that? What's the
626 620 to 6 Sherman.
Sure, okay. Is that near here? I don't know the area.
See, it's maybe
Sherman's
about.
not too far from you, right?
No, right. You do you know where St. Philip's is by any chance?
No.
Well, you know where Messiah Baptist Church is?
No, you get the street corners, whatever, probably would know.
Okay, you know where Union Street is, right?
Oh, Union, yes.
Okay, well, Sherman runs right into, dead end right into Union.
Okay.
Okay, and when the dead end's right there, you turn to your right, you be coming up to your, turn to your left, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4 houses over, and the church is sitting right there, the little white church sitting right there.
Went to, okay. And that's where they got married, right?
That's where where they got
So right,
married.
Union and Sherman, right around there. Okay.
But at the time, the day before.
That's really not too far from here, then.
No, it's about 3.5 miles maybe.
Okay.
At the most, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the night before she was getting married, my mother got cold feet and said, "Well, I'm not going to marry him." I said, "Mom, you're not going to do what?" She said, "I'm not going to marry your daddy because he made me mad." I said, "Oh, yes, you are." She said, "Who you think you're talking to?" I said, "I'm talking to my mother, Lucille Vivian Durham." She said, "I said, you going to do that?" "I ain't going to marry him." She said, "I'm going to go tell my sister, Peggy," she's the daughter. She said, "Peggy, I ain't marrying her." I said, "Leg," we call her Leg. "You tell her she going to marry, ain't she?" She said, "Mom, you're going to marry." So we called my older brother. "Mom, you're going to marry." Then we called my other brother. He said, "Mom, you're going to marry." So finally they did get married. I married them. And the fact
You
about
married? Okay.
Yeah, I married them. The fact about it is I had just received my elder's license from the Churches of God in Christ. And the first marriage I ever performed was my mother and father.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah. So that made me feel that if ever there was a great achievement, that was the greatest achievement in my life, was being able to bring my mother and father back together after 41 years and then marry them too.
And they're still married, or
They both passed away.
both passed? I'm sorry.
In fact, about it is that uniquely, she died in December, and in March he died.
Recently?
No. This is in 1992 and 93. Right. In other words, they died 4 months apart, but in 1992 and 1993.
That's great. They were able to get back together.
Oh yeah, and they
For the family, for everybody. For the family and everybody, it was great.
Oh, we were so elated, and everybody was so elated. I mean, after all these years, y'all get back together, and like I say again, it made the Esquire, made the Grand Rapids Press here. Who else? A Denver Post. Yeah. So it was a exciting event for all of us, to be able to see our mother and father get back together. And I became my mother's pastor, but not my dad's.
How'd your dad wife?
Oh no. No, that wasn't going. He wanted to teach me how, or tell me how to preach and how to pastor. I had to tell him one day, I said, "Dad, when the Lord called you then pastor, okay? But since he hasn't called you, would you let me pastor?" He said, "Well, I ain't coming to your church." And he didn't. He visited, but he wouldn't join. The fact about it is, when I first opened up my church, I was at Sherman Street, and I told my pastor the Lord had called me to pastor, and I gave him a 2 weeks notice to him when I was leaving. And so I thought, well, I'll start off with me and my mama, and because I wasn't married at that time. So me and my mama, she's gonna help me and start from scratch right there, right? So I told my mom, I said, "Mom, well," I took over where my church building was with 100 Burton. This is my first church. And I said, "Come on, Mom." I said, "You gonna be over here with me?" She said, "No, I ain't going nowhere." I said, You what? You ain't gonna be with your baby boy?" She said, "No, Lord ain't told me that, no. He ain't told me I'm supposed to move nowhere. he told you. I said, but Mama, but you know, I'm your son. She said, nah, I'll visit. You come get me, I'll visit sometime, but I ain't gonna be a member, right? So she would do that every other Sunday or something like that. She would come. But one particular Sunday, we had a situation in the church. We had to have a business meeting because the church had kind of grown a little bit. And my mother was there, and I won't go into details about that, but the decision I made caused my mother to raise her hand. And she said, Pastor Durham. And I knew she put emphasis on Durham. I knew Mama was trying to act like Mama now. Okay. She said, may I ask a request of you? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, may I join your church? I looked, I said, who? I'm acting like my daddy. Now I start crying. You know me, tears coming out my eyes. Of course I don't cry, but I said, yes, ma'am, you can. I gave her the right hand of fellowship, and so she was my church mother, and I preached her funeral. And then I preached part of my father's funeral, and then I preached part of my brother's, well, I preached all of my brother's funeral. And my older brother and older sister, I didn't. I just because one went to Messiah, and the other one, my sister died in Houston, Texas. That's where part of the family is right now, in Houston, Texas. So that tells you a little bit about my travel with my family.
And so your nieces and nephews are here or in Houston, Texas?
Well, I have, most of my nieces and nephews, I only got one nephew. I have one nephew just committed suicide.
Committed suicide?
Yeah, just about 6 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I have a nephew, Leroy Webbs. He's like another son. So when you ask me how many kids, I always have to stop and think. He's not just a son, but he is a son/nephew. That's a young man I have a lot of admiration and respect for, and a lot of love for, because he watches over his uncle every day. And I don't know what I would do without him.
So their age range around 20s or?
No. Let me see. My oldest child is 52.
Okay.
Yeah, she's 52.
So they're around that age, the nieces and nephews? They're around the 50s?
Now these are my
These are your kids?
my kids. Okay.
Your children, I'm sorry.
Right, my children. The oldest is 52, the next one is 48. Then the next one, she is 34, going on 35, and the next one is 33. Yeah, and that's it. And
But they're here?
No. One son, my oldest son, is in Vietnam.
Oh, in Vietnam?
Yeah.
Right now?
Mm-hmm. Now he was born here in Grand Rapids. He's all American us. Okay. And but he had a business deal. He graduated from the University of Michigan with a degree in electrical engineering. But he met a person that was from Vietnam, and they got into business. So he went over there and opened up a business. Yeah, so that's how he ended up in Vietnam. And then I have my oldest daughter is a hairdresser. She does my next daughter. She just had a stroke, so she's in recovery, so to speak. And my daughter, my youngest daughter, she is a filmmaker. At least she was trying to be a filmmaker. And then my son, he has little emotional problems.
The filmmaker, is she here or?
Yeah, well, she's here. Well, as of today, she's here. But as of Saturday, she'll be moving down to Atlanta, Georgia.
To Atlanta, Georgia?
Yeah.
You have family there too? Or?
Yeah, she has. Matter of fact, that's where my older sister lives. And she has 8 children. Of the 8, 4 girls are down there with her, and the other 4 in Chicago, because that's where they came from, down there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And
so, you went to grammar school where?
Well, in Canton, Ohio, I went to Market Elementary. And then here in Grand Rapids, the first one I went to was Henry School. And then I went from Henry School to Vandenberg School. From Vandenberg, I went to Central High School.
Okay.
And that's where I graduated from.
So Henry and Vandenberg are they on the east side or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fact about it, Henry is right on the corner of Henry and Logan Street. It's called Martin Luther King now.
Okay.
Yeah, because they tore down the original building belt.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I just got to get it in my head where it's. I'm trying to look.
Yeah.
It says Martin Luther King now.
Yeah.
But is that how far southeast is that?
That's about 3 miles.
I mean, is it by Fuller or?
No, it's right there on Wealthy and Henry Street. Well, I
Okay,
guess.
Wealthy and Henry by Easttown.
Yeah. Well, no, you're down too far. Come back this way.
Back this way by the Madison or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about 4 blocks from Madison.
From Madison, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's actually just north of here. Just north of the United Methodist.
Yeah, okay, that we are, okay, yeah.
Not too far from here.
Right.
Okay, and Vandenberg was where?
A corner of Lafayette and Wealthy.
Okay, that's right around here too. Okay, so that it's actually this. Did you also live in this area?
I've been in this area. The fact about it is, when I first came to Grand Rapids, I came to 615 Thomas.
Thomas is where?
Now, that's actually north
I
of
grew up here, but I can't remember none of that.
Okay, it's north of here,
And that's
and
by Wealthy before you get to Wealthy.
before you get to Wealthy.
So again, this is this neighborhood you came. You came to this community.
I'll just show you this.
And what year was that?
In 1953 is when I first
1953, you
first
came
came
to this
here.
community.
Okay, 615 Thomas. In 2015,
Even Burton is not that far from here. So I mean, that, you had your church there.
yep,
Yeah, so that's not that far from here.
right.
It's really the same community.
you know what? You're right.
I mean, if you look at like a 10-block square area,
Yeah,
it covers this,
you
the
know,
schools and everything right around here.
just right in the area. And Denver was the farthest place I went to live, and I actually liked it out there, but I love Grand Rapids. But as I was about to say is, I live at 622 Thomas.
Okay.
So in what was that 63 years, I've been in the same neighborhood. I live right across the street from where I started from.
Okay.
You talking about 380? I did. 360?
63 years.
Yeah, I've been in this in my neighborhood, as you want to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you begin with the changes in how this neighborhood,
Oh my
what you remember
goodness.
of this neighborhood from 53?
Oh, in
I wasn't in 53 when you came.
1953, where we came from, one of
Was
the
it a
things.
mixed community or what?
No, well, yeah, it was a mixed community. But when I first came on the street of Thomas, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 black families in my block.
Okay.
Now, it's totally different. We didn't have no Hispanics on the block. Now on the block we got 1, 2, 3, 4 Hispanic families. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 Caucasians, and the rest are black. So it's an integrated area over there.
I mean, when you first came, you only had 4 African American families.
Correct.
And so, how was that? Was there any tension or?
You know, no, it really wasn't. No.
Talking to a pastor bishop, so
Huh?
the bishop or pastor usually doesn't talk about tension. Right?
No. Actually, there
But
wasn't.
as a social worker type, we look at tension and that's what.
Oh yeah. No, that's a legitimate question to ask.
So was the neighborhood changing and it began to change at that time or later?
Later. I think the neighborhood began to change when I started going to high school. Because again, there's a lot of big houses over in that direction over there. I don't know if you've ever been in the area, but they are. And people start, black folks start moving in. And as they moved in, others moved out. From where I live now, you go half a block.
So as blacks moved in, the whites started moving out to where?
It was called the White Flight.
The white flight.
The White Flight.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we got the Black Flight. You see, because I guess about 20 years ago, a little better, maybe 20 years ago, people started running out to Kentwood. See, we helped build Kentwood. So those affluent blacks.
So this is important. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So we have a white flight of the whites are fleeing because the black people are moving in.
Right. At the time, now, back in my day.
And this is in the 50s and 60s.
In the 60s.
In the 60s.
Uh-huh.
So we have white flight in the 60s.
Uh-huh.
And now you say we have black flight to Kentwood?
We did too. I think about
What is that?
about the
That's
70s.
the first time I heard that. So I mean.
Oh yeah, okay. In the 70s.
But I know what you mean. I know that.
Yeah.
Was it by choice that black
No,
people
no,
moved
no.
to Kentwood?
No. As they got affluent
Because white flight was by choice.
by choice, and one is by a choice too, but it's because of the economic standard. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
everybody's running out to Kentwood.
So white flight is moving
Back.
out because they're afraid of blacks moving in.
They did at that time. Now it's the reverse.
Okay, so now to the rivers now. Black people
Are still
are they
going
afraid
out.
Are they
And
afraid of white people?
You
You mentioned economics. I'm just trying to.
okay, the economics meant that, the blacks who had something, they started moving out, Whites, then when they start coming out, the whites actually start coming back into the cities. So what they're doing is they've taken homes now and refurnishing them and beautifying them. Fact about it is right next door to me, about 6 months ago, a white guy moved right next door to me. I was kind of shocked, but and then 2 Mexicans across the street. So they're coming back because it's economically savvy for that to happen. Okay,
Savvy white.
savvy because you take a big home, and then once you fix it up, oh, you got money. Fact about it, there's a
So they're out here for money, basically. They fix the home for money.
no, they live in.
They live in there too.
Yeah, they
So
live.
they're taking a big home and they're buying it inexpensive and fixing it up.
Fixing it up, yeah, they're fixing it.
That raises the value.
There you go. In fact about it is where I stay.
Does that do anything to the other people that are already living there? If it raises the value?
Not
I
really.
don't want to put words.
No. That's a legit question. Not really. Because we're used to people coming, going,
I
coming.
mean, do they have to pay more taxes now?
No,
Okay.
no, they get more bang for their bucks. That's the whole thing.
They do, but I mean the other people that are already here, residents,
Well,
the other homeowners. Or
you
do they get more inspections
actually less.
or less inspections?
And I'm really talking about my block.
Let's talk right.
Yeah.
So they're getting less. The African American homeowners, the city's not bothering them.
I don't. That's a hard question to answer because that's on the
We're talking about
individual.
that corridor by Wealthy that changed, right? The Wealthy corridor there.
Oh, now Wealthy, they just took that over.
Who's there?
Oh, talking about white people. You're talking about up by East Town.
Right.
Yeah, they
Just took it over.
Just took it over.
Was that black before?
Well, it wasn't all black, but it's mostly all the business on there are all white now.
There used to be black business owners.
Oh yeah, used to be some.
So that used to be a black community.
Just, yeah, so to speak. Yeah,
And the white people came and took it over.
they did.
The white flight that came back.
They did.
So now those people moved to Kentwood.
I don't
Or
know.
places, suburbs.
Yeah, right. They got out the hood, if you want to say it like
They got out
that.
the hood and moved to the suburbs.
Yeah,
And the suburbs moved to the hood.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It was a reverse. It was a reverse.
I'm doing it. I don't want to put words.
No.
But you're the one that came out and said that this was black.
Yeah. No. I don't. I stand on my grounds on that one.
I never heard it told that way in this way.
Oh yeah. Well, one of the things that I've done, I got involved in communities affair,
Okay.
and being involved.
Explain what you mean by that.
Well, we used to have, back in the day, what they called model cities.
Okay.
And that's what the government would give a city about, I think, what, $3 million, something like that, to do with it in 5 years.
Hold on one second. Okay. So if we want to continue where we were at, you remember?
Well, actually, I was getting ready to talk about my involvement in
In the community.
In the community.
We're talking about the involvement in the community. So what does that mean?
Well, it started off I started helping out with Madison Square Co-op.
Okay.
That's right down the corner of Madison and Hall Street.
Okay.
Yeah, it used to be a Madison Square Co-op, and as a result of coming, and the model cities also came first, and then went to Madison Square. And I was the chairman of their board, and out of that we helped develop the housing. That some of the housing that you see, well, they tore them down, but it was right next to the store right down the corner of Hall in Madison.
Okay,
Right next to
the new housing that they built.
Right.
But-
Well, that's not the original houses, but
There was original housing there, but they rebuilt over it.
right.
Why would they do that?
I don't know, because after we did it initially, I got out of it,
Okay.
and then
But
after
you helped them build the other one that was there?
I was, like I say, I was the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee.
The Ways and Means Committee of this Madison Court.
Right. And then we were we actually went to Detroit to look at the models, how to set it up and everything. So we came back to Grand Rapids and had that done here. And there was, 1, 2, 3.
So Model Cities was affordable housing? And that's-
Well, no. Actually, what it was, a neighborhood cleanup. Trying to bring neighborhoods up to par and stuff like that. It was started under whose administration?
The Johnson administration?
Yeah.
I think I remember a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's not what we have now. Today it's just making cities like Athens.
Yeah, we
Agrees to something, international city, Grand Rapids is an international city.
Yeah.
But at that time they were trying to actually clean up the neighborhood and keep the neighborhood.
Yeah. See, one of the most unique things about Grand Rapids is the fact we don't really have a ghetto.
Okay.
You can drive around, you don't have a ghetto. The closest thing to a ghetto is maybe around First Street up in there.
Okay.
Yeah, but you don't really have, a lot of dilapidated.
First Street is actually a white neighborhood.
You got that right.
So the ghetto was in the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we didn't have that. And then after I got involved with model cities, I got, so what else I do? Then I started working for the Board of Education, and then I played semi-pro football
Okay.
for a little while.
And so you were working for the Board of Education?
Yes,
Okay. Okay. What did you do there?
I was administrative assistant,
Okay.
for several schools, and the child advocate officer.
Okay.
Yeah, and then let me see where to get. And I actually started working at St. Mary's Hospital. That was my first job. And while I was at St. Mary's Hospital, I got drafted in the Army.
Okay.
And then
So you went. I didn't go to the service, but where did you go to the service?
1967.
67. So was that Vietnam?
Yeah, you got that right.
So you went to Vietnam.
No, well, I did and I didn't.
Okay.
I landed there, got off the plane, and then got back on because the event had started. So my destination was Thailand. So I ended up in Thailand, and I was in the microwave I was in Signal Corps.
In your car.
I had one of those top secret clearance.
Okay.
Right. And fact about it, I went to school at a place called Fort Monmouth, New Jersey.
Okay.
And it's no longer there, but that used to be the elite school for Signal Corps. And then they got another one in Fort Gordon, but we were high class.
Okay.
Yeah. And while I was,
Pride.
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we always got to
So
let
you
them
were the
know.
high class of it.
Yeah,
So
we
this is security clearance, so you're doing,
yeah.
what are you doing then?
Do you know crypto?
That I mean that you can say.
Well, crypto and you know the
Crypto, I don't
yeah, the
know.
disc. You know the disc that you see for this the TVs and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we. It was new then.
The dishes, the satellite dishes?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were doing that, that was spying. Basically. At the time, but it was clearance, so we can't go too much into the detail. But you're in war, you're fighting other
Yeah.
countries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And some countries that you're not fighting.
Well, true. You know, the amazing thing about it is even where I was stationed at, I was stationed out in the boonies for real, jungles. Okay, and we were a relay station between Vietnam and Thailand and America. So all communications that came from Vietnam came through our part of our relay station onto America.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know if you ever heard of General Westmoreland.
I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, he was head of the forces in Vietnam, and my job one time was to patch him over to the States, and I made a mistake and had a conversation between him and I think it was the Secretary of Defense, and when you plug it in, the bells start ringing, and before I knew it, here comes a whole troop of soldiers pointing guns on the floor, soldier. Yes, I'm out in the boonies, but they'll find you real quick. They find you. Yeah, so that was.
And that was just a mistake. I mean,
yeah, bad mistake.
A bad mistake.
A bad mistake. Yes.
Because you remember.
Yeah. So I say, and I was a draftee, so I didn't enlist. I got drafted.
So, because you were drafted, did you feel any little anger or anything? I mean, you know, because the Vietnam War, some people were protesting, but you were security clearance. You're all the way. You're with the service.
You know,
You didn't take any sides.
I tell you.
Oh, you did take a side. You didn't like the hippies.
No, no, they didn't like me.
They didn't like you. Okay, was the other way,
But
right?
I was trying to tell them I'm on your side.
Oh, you can't agree with some things.
Yeah,
Because I mean, you had
no.
Martin Luther King at that time. And
Yeah.
all those things going on.
Yeah. No, actually, I kept telling them all the time. I said, look, you don't want me in here. I tried to flunk the test.
Right.
I did not do none of those tests.
Right.
And I even went into the hearing booth, you know, and they said, now, when you hear something, you know, push the button, right? See, they said, push the button. Every sound came, I couldn't. The guy came in, banged on the booth, and I jumped. He said, oh, you passed.
Right.
Then they took me to the psych doctor, who happens to be a brother.
Right.
He said, well, Mr. Durham, he's looking at your test scores and how you doing. He said, I don't think we can use you, cause you know, I don't want to say you need. Did you have special ed? Were you in special ed? I said, yeah. He said, well, I'm sorry, son. I said, you sorry? He said, yeah, I'm sorry. Uncle Sam can't use you. And I was acting like I was crying on the outside, but on the inside I said, yes, Lord, yes. Then I get to the door. He said, Mr. Durham, I got a question to ask you. You know, he said, off the record. I said, off the record? I said, yeah. He said, what you gonna do when you get back home? I said, you know what? I think I want to be a social worker. He said, social worker? I said, yeah, I think I will. So I turned around and leave. He said, Mr. Durham, I got one more thing to say. I said, yes. He said, you passed. He said, you almost had me fooled. I said, I couldn't hardly talk. I was so shocked. He said, you need to go into acting. That's what you need to do. He said, because I looked at your test scores. He said, when you did answer right. He said, but you start setting the pattern. He said, now anytime somebody can set a pattern, they ain't done. I said, how you gonna set a pattern and not answer stuff? He said, that's it. You did. So that's how I ended up in the service. I thought I had it made. And then I came back, and that was strange to come back. Because I worked at St. Mary's Hospital at the time, and I had a car loan I had taken out before I left. And I thought my brother was paying it, but he wasn't paying on it. So as soon as they found out I was back, because I went back there to try to get my job back, and they told me, well, we're going to take your car. I said, how you going to do that? I thought my brother was paying. He said, well, no payment's been made. Excuse me. Well, then a friend of mine said, well, they really can't take your car because of the Soldier Settlement Relief Act. I never heard of nothing like that. I said, oh, okay. So I went in, put them on, and the guy says, oh, okay, we made a mistake. Now, I'm telling it to the nice. I don't cuss, and I wasn't in the church then, but I just don't cuss, okay? But I sure wanted to cuss him because I wanted to kill him. I said, after all, because he did say to me, he said, well, I don't think we owe you anything. And that made me really have a bad taste in my mouth. Is here we are, we struggle, and we go, fight for somebody, and they can have the nerve enough to say, you don't owe me anything. I'm not asking you, but you can't say you don't owe me. And you talk about you live in the land of the home of the free and the brave, that you don't owe us. And I think that's what a lot of soldiers start getting mad about. And if you notice, a lot of soldiers after that war turned into be hippies and stuff. And they had a hard time readjusting coming back, And I don't know. It was a better time for me at that time.
We were just hanging in the corner, about four of us, and we kind of marched I led the march to the recruiting station.
Did you?
And they all got accepted except me.
Oh, was that? You're the one that led the march.
I already had children. I had problems too with the law and all that.
Oh,
so they didn't accept me.
Okay.
But they still hate me for it.
I know that's right. That's right. But you know what? I tell you,
Then later, I kind of went with the hippies and protest. I was not a hippie, just kind of protested later. But everybody was doing it then.
Yeah. Then what happened is I had a sense of awareness.
All the way.
Yeah. I got a sense of awareness, and it changed my whole outlook.
I think everybody had it.
Yeah.
There was some mistakes made and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
And then to kind of cap it off a little bit, as we speak today, right now, I am the chairman of the Friend of the Court board.
Okay. So I better be careful when I say you're Friend of the Court.
Yeah.
You better not owe no money.
Yeah. Check you out. No.
So you're the chairman of the Friend of the Court?
Yes.
Okay.
And also I have an organization called the Puzzle Project. And what we do is we help those who got Friend of the Court problems. Okay. I have to be kind of careful so that it become a conflict of interest, but it isn't. And then we also, I head up a group called United Families of Michigan, and what we did there is we tried to keep the Department of Human Services and the contracting agencies like Bethany and places like that from taking the kids out.
Christian Services?
Yeah,
Okay.
keeping the kids in their families, keeping with their mothers and fathers.
That's great.
Yeah, and that was that. Now you're talking about.
I was a counselor, so that's good. I like that.
Oh, yeah. Well.
For Project Rehab.
Oh, yeah.
For Project Rehab.
Oh, okay. That was a task in itself, and some of the archaic ways of how people think that they can do better for a child than a parent by taking them out of the house. I'm saying is, why don't you just take the service to them in their own environment, rather than take the children away from their environment, and then you take and change their identity. Because we've had people come in.
That's a good point. They change their identity by putting them in another family.
And they don't look at it like that. They think, oh, we helping. No, you're not. You created a problem. And even if you went black to black, not just black-white, but black to black, you change an environment. And what happens is the fact that, and their identity is like, then they look at where they came from as something horrible sometimes. But statistics prove that at the age of 18, kids, if they've been adopted out or foster home out, they come back to try to find their natural mother and father. So since they're going to do it anyways, why not just let's keep it a knit situation? Now, I'm not talking utopically. In other words, I'm saying is there's going to be some problems, but those problems can be worked out. you know, because sometimes you don't get a parent that is not very cooperative. You know what I mean? And the other thing that I always ask them is the fact is, now you got a mother with 4 children. Okay, you take the kids. Now that tells you right there, you just left a homeless person. What does that person do? Because you took their income. Because if they got the 4 kids, they're not really working, right? So you take that away from them, they have no skills. They have no place to go. Do you know that's a crack man's paradise? She's a good target. That's why we got so many women right now that are on crack right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're saying, why is it a crack man's paradise?
Because of the vulnerability. So you get vulnerable and they come and, hey, give them some. They take that for relief. Then after a while, they become addicted to it. You know. I don't know if you ever watched the movie New Jack City.
New Jack City? No.
Oh, you need to watch
New
that.
Jack City, you're saying?
Yeah, New Jack City. You need to watch that. Because what they say in there
Was
is...
that about gangs, the New Jack City?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, I think I did see it.
Yeah. Wesley Snipes.
Right, I think I did see it.
Yeah. That,
I mean, I don't recall it completely, but I know that it was about gangs and all that.
well, it was more about
Drugs.
drugs. That was organized. They weren't street fighting
Right,
gangs.
right,
Yeah,
right.
because that was different.
Yeah, it was about gangs.
Yeah, once upon a time, I used to be leader of a gang back in the day,
What gang was that?
the Hornets.
The Hornets here in Grand Rapids?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I understood.
And okay, and where were they hanging out at? Where were they hanging out at?
Cass Street. They were going down
Cass
Cass.
right up here, right? I know.
No, Cass down toward
Towards
Wealthy.
Towards Wealthy. So around Wealthy and Cass? But that's what about Wealthy Boys and the Hornets? What's the difference?
Oh, this is a lot of years.
A lot of years before that. So
Yes.
we're talking about years.
Yeah.
So there's the 50s is the Hornets.
Yep.
And then later on came the Wealthy Boys.
No.
Or the Wealthy Boys were first.
No, the Wealthy Boys is just all by themselves.
Oh, they're just separate.
Okay, the biggest gang that was here in Grand Rapids at the time was called the Yellow Jackets.
The Yellow Jackets. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Yellow Jackets was, they took
And
a
where
beat.
were they located?
Their location was on Pleasant Street,
Okay.
one block over from where I live right now.
Okay.
Yep, the leader of
Pleasant by division?
no, Pleasant by Union.
Pleasant and Union, okay.
Yep.
All the
Yeah.
way up there by almost East Town.
No, you're going too far.
Oh, I'm going too far. Okay,
Yeah.
Union is by Madison, between Madison.
Right.
Okay, now I'm getting where Union is.
Right.
And Pleasant, no, Union and Pleasant over there. 'Cause
Okay,
I live by Prospect. Not
yeah.
too far from Prospect.
No.
Okay.
You're right.
Yeah, I lived by Prospect and Wealthy when I first got here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that gang was almost 12,000 strong.
Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, back in the day. They had the Yellow Jackets, they had the Teenage
And then the
Rattlers.
Wealthy Street Boys were on the East.
No, but they different
were further
era.
down.
Different
They
era.
came later.
Yeah, way later.
Way later. But
Way
so
later.
the Yellow Jackets were first.
They were first.
And then the Hornets were around that time too.
Oh yeah, it was the Yellow Jackets, the Hornets, Teenage Rattlers, the Redcoats, and the Nigger Stompers.
The what?
And the Nigger
You're
Stompers.
using that word. I'm not using that word. What kind of word? What would you call it?
That's what they were called.
What would they call it?
Nigger Stompers.
Okay, that's the N word. I'm not even touching that.
Hey,
That's what they were called. They called themselves that.
matter of fact, there's a country called Niger in
That's
Africa.
exactly.
Yeah, put another G to it and you got nigger. I mean,
I think.
yeah.
I think Puerto Ricans are descendants from that area.
I think
Believe
you
it or
know.
not, they are.
Yeah.
That's West Africa.
Yeah.
That's where Puerto Ricans are mixed with that for 500 years.
Yeah, for black and
The
his
slave-
side.
Because the slave trade was in Santo Domingo next to Puerto Rico.
Right.
That's where they came from.
Right.
But anyway, that's his history. We're dealing with history here in terms of the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
And the Hornets and the other group was what? The Hornets, Yellow Jackets, and
the Redcoats.
the Redcoats.
Now the Redcoats was a mixed group.
Okay.
They had blacks, they had Hispanics, and the whites.
So you had Hispanics over here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where were the Redcoats at?
The Redcoats was basically over by Sycamore Street, over in that area.
Sycamore? Okay.
Yeah, that's right down the street.
Okay, by Granville?
No. They were between Sheldon and Jefferson.
Okay, so the Redcoats. So there
That
were
was there.
Spanish people living around here at that time. They did tell me
Yeah, they
that there
had.
were Spanish people living around there. So the red coats were mixed with Spanish and white.
And white and black.
Okay.
But it was a black guy that
That was a leader.
lives the leader. Yeah.
Okay.
Back. I ain't gonna call
And
his
the
name.
Hornets were there. You were the leader of the Hornets
I was.
at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so what kind of things did you do?
We fight.
Your group did.
We would fight.
Who were you fighting?
Anybody.
Were you fighting the Yellow Jackets?
No, we scared of them.
You stayed with them.
They were 12,000 strong.
They were thick.
Yeah.
Did they
I
come
was
from
young.
Detroit or what?
No. Well, I tell you what, they went as far as Grand Rapids, Lansing, and Muskegon
Okay.
is where the bulk of them came
So
from.
then Muskegon and Lansing and Grand Rapids.
Mhm.
So you're talking about solid people, street people
Oh yeah.
all the way.
Oh yeah. They were bad.
Were
They
they
were-
involved in drug trade or anything like that, or no? And at that time, they didn't have drug trade.
It was a lot of drinking then.
Drinking, a lot of drinking, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of drinking and party. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just on the corner drinking by the liquor store or something? That's what
No,
they did in
they,
Chicago.
you know, they were real sophisticated here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So none of that, so they were drinking in homes?
Yep, they
Instead of
partied. They had their own
party.
parties, and they took over the skating
High
rink.
class drinking, not
Huh?
high class drinking, no.
I ain't gonna say high class.
No wine like they did in Chicago.
I know.
Chicago,
Irish
Chicago,
roll.
Wild Irish roll. No wild Irish roll.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah, they
That's what they did in
did.
Chicago.
Yeah,
Wild Irish rolls, okay.
yeah. But see, it's a funny thing. I never drank, never smoked, and never swore.
Okay.
You know, and it wasn't because I was religious. Well, it was because my mother taught me I couldn't do that,
Okay.
and I never required her.
And since drinking was the main thing, you were just opposed to that. And that made you a leader, because you couldn't handle that.
Yeah, because everybody else get crazy. I wouldn't get crazy
But why were you the leader? Why did they pick you as the leader?
because I beat everybody up.
You beat them all up.
Yeah.
You were a bully. Well, you know, some leaders just have charisma. You just beat them up.
Well, both. I did both.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
I did both. Yeah. In fact, about at the same time that I was the leader of the Hornets, I was captain of the safety squad at my school.
At the school.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had both sides. You
Yeah,
had
I knew how to
the
flip the-
legal and the cops and robbers, both like they say. But you were
Yeah.
fighting, cops and fighters.
Yeah.
Okay.
To me, it was fun.
And you guys were the Hornets. Were you said again what corner?
Hmm?
You said Union and what?
No. We were down Cass Street,
Castro.
Cass and Buckley.
And
Yeah.
Buckley
And Logan. That's what basically
and Logan around.
right there.
And
Right.
so you kind of partied at different people's houses, drinking Wild Irish rolls or whatever.
No, we didn't drink. I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't drink?
No, the Hornets didn't. The Yellow Jackets did, but we didn't because I didn't allow them.
Oh, you didn't allow it. You didn't
No,
allow drinking. Okay,
no.
you just hung out.
Well, yeah, and we beat up
Just
folk.
Players with the girls.
And
Stuff like that.
we kind of hired ourselves as enforcers. We were, huh?
Or you call yourselves the enforcers.
Yeah, we was more like enforcers. You need some protection, you came see me.
Okay,
Yeah,
I get you.
yeah. So that we didn't identify.
So this area was primarily African American, always,
Most of the time,
for
yeah.
many years since the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, they started
Spreading
the
out.
whites. First, the whites were here; it was mixed, but then they started leaving, and then it became more African American. Until now, that's changing.
Yeah, right. It's going back now. It's more integrated now.
So how do you feel about it? Is that better or worse?
You know, now there are two sides to
How do
that
you feel?
answer for me.
Yeah, give me both sides.
Okay, I don't care. I'm not prejudiced against a color. I am prejudiced against an attitude, but not a color.
Okay.
Okay, because you can be black as all tie, baby. If you got a wrong kind of attitude, I mean, you got problems. You know, or you can be white as a sheep. You know,
Okay.
if you got the wrong attitude, we got a problem. So it's more of a system kind of thing that I deal with now. And, you know, people coming in, I don't care what color you are, as long as we can get along. And my
I
house,
mean, you know, the whites are coming and just taking over. How do you feel about that?
I'm not mad at them. I'm mad at us.
Okay, what do you mean?
Case in point, you know, 1 year in Grand Rapids we had what, almost 10 killings in 1 year. I led a march to stop the violence here
Okay.
in Grand Rapids, and the purpose of that is I said stop killing each other. Now you talk about the white man. Well, why don't you go kill him? If you're gonna kill somebody, why would you kill somebody that you know that's your friend? Over some frivolous stuff like, you know, man, you looked at, I want your shoes. Or you looked at my girl wrong. Well, now if she's beautiful and you looked at her, why couldn't I look at her? And give you the praise because you was bad enough to get her, you know? We don't think like that. We fight, we declare war on the wrong people. And why don't we come together? I'm asking rhetorically that question. I already know the answer to it, you know, that we cannot come together. That's what bothers me.
So you wanted the community to come together as a community, not to split up the community. Because they were fighting, they were killing each other.
It still are.
Right, and so you wanted them to be united, the community,
Well,
African American community to be
to come together, yeah.
Okay.
And then we can sit down to the table as equals. Then you can bargain.
Okay.
You follow
So then
me?
you wanted to empower the community.
Definitely.
And I'm
Definitely.
not putting words there.
No.
So
That's
what
yeah.
that's what you believe in. That
Oh,
you're part of the
definitely.
community.
Oh, definitely. And now when you use that word,
And that's what you're saying, that you're not prejudiced. You're just saying you want to empower your community.
yeah,
The community, right?
yeah, we just, you know, so that we become the part of these United States of America in reality, but not in theory. You
I
know,
mean, it's like me. I want to uplift Latinos, you know, as a Latino. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
well, you know, I tell you, I have a different perspective on Latinos. Because one of the things,
You're saying we can't empower you, but go back to Mexico.
Puerto Rico too. No, you know what?
I'm just joking.
Well, no, you got a serious point there because see, here's the thing about it is, the one thing about you all come over here united, and you don't split up. You speak the same language, you eat the same foods. I mean, not some days, every day.
Rice and beans every day.
Yeah, you won't have that. If you come right now, the only people who eat rice and beans every day that's black is poor. Okay?
Right.
And I don't care how rich you are, how poor you are, Hispanic, you're going to eat rice and beans and tortillas. Yeah, because that's your culture. In other words, you're standing firm on your culture. Even when you all move here, like I got some Hispanics that live across the street from me, well, he piled in his whole family. You know, y'all move as a family, work together, and do something. Hey, don't let my nephews and stuff like that. No, you can't stay with me. You know, but that's why I say you're in a different. That's why even right now in 2020, the minority, well, right now, Hispanics are the largest minority.
Right, they're becoming, yeah, they are.
You're 13% and we're 12.5%. You know, so that makes a difference. Well, what did you do? They said, well, immigration, or you just snuck over the border, one or two, but you got here, and you blended in. You know, I don't fault you all. You know, I just fault us for not capitalizing on this. You know, when we went through the Black Power era of time, you know, Black Power this, Black Power this. Now I fought against that. I didn't believe in no Black Power. I said, what is Black Power? When I was trying to get green money. So why not say green money in black hands? You know, the dollar bill, dollar bill in the black community only circulates what? 0 time. Well, actually 1 time. In our hands and out, gone. Jewish community 21 times. You know, 16 times for white folks. Somewhere around in there. That means that money is circulating and doing something. That was the whole concept of model cities, is to circulate the money, okay, so that you can have some growth. Look at our schools now. You know, we used to have what? Central High School, Union High School, Ottawa High School, Creston High School, South High School. We used to have 5 high schools. We're only down to 2 now.
In terms of the African American community?
Yes,
Okay. So we only have 2, there's only 2 now?
only 2.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
And how did that, and what do you think what's the reason for that?
playing the numbers game, money game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Playing the numbers game, money game?
And then when you had the black flight,
Okay.
it took a lot of black people away from here, and they went out to Kentwood. So Kentwood got them.
Are you blaming the black flight and the black community, or who's at fault for that?
You know, I don't know if it's a fault as it is not being aware. I mean, if you're gonna do something, why not fix up your neighborhood and then you are right, rather than run out to somebody else's neighborhood and keep it like they like it, and they don't really want you out there in the first place. So
you're saying it's the black community's fault for going to Kentwood? For going to Kentwood instead of staying here?
I think they should have.
You think they were pushed out?
No, they weren't pushed out. No, if okay, say for example, you grew up around my neighborhood, right? As soon as you get a little money, where you going? Boom, you gone.
Okay.
So
the people wanted to advance. So they went to
that's what they call advancement by going out there. But really,
But you don't think they got pushed out too?
by whom?
I mean, isn't there a development now? Maybe now they're doing it, but at that time maybe they chose on their own.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, you don't see today, with all this development that's going on,
Well, you know,
downtown?
the development is because we left it vacant for them to develop.
okay.
Yeah, had we not left here, they would not be here. I'm not against progress. I'm not against that. But I'm just saying this, just right now, okay, a lot of people who lived in the ghetto, right, moved out. They moved into these apartment, complexes, right?
Okay.
They have more problems out in the apartment complexes than they did down here, because the same people went. You can change the location, but you didn't change you.
So you didn't change the people?
No.
Okay. So isn't, okay.
I don't want to get in my political bag. I don't think, because
No, this is good. This is what we want. I mean, this is your autobiography.
Yeah, well, this is one of the things I've been
This is what
struggling.
you've been fighting for.
Yeah, when I started, we had a march in 2006. Okay, I led this march about stop the violence because we was having so much killing there, and my emphasis is again, if you look at the record, Grand Rapids has never had a policeman shoot to kill anybody in Grand Rapids that I know of. There has been but one Grand Rapids policeman killed in the last 40, as far as I know, there's one in the line of duty, just one. So we don't have that kind of tension of shooting, they're shooting us and we're shooting them. Now, that don't mean they didn't rough us up and beat us up. I'm not saying that. But it is not that kind of competition that you would have in New York, Cleveland, Chicago. They shoot to kill. Fact about it is, I was, me and another pastor was down talking to one of the officers in the police department, and the three of us were sitting there, and I said to him, wait a minute, in your training, see, I think all the problems that we have with policemen is not the individual, but it's the system, okay? And I know that by being in the Army, you can take a person that never shot a rifle, gun before, myself is a good example, and I turned out to be a marksman. And I didn't know that much of a gun. It's because you're in that environment, and the policy says this is what you do. So I was telling him, I said, well, why don't you train, your policy says train to wound somebody rather than kill. He went ballistic. No, we gonna shoot them. You kill them, you take them down. Yeah, that's the whole thing, take them down. Good example of what I'm talking about. Look at Cleveland, the little 12-year-old boy. He's been trained to what? Take him down, right? 5 seconds after he get out the car, bam, he shoots the boy. And they go investigate it? What you gonna investigate? They ain't in 12 seconds.
He was trained that way.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
He was trained to take them down.
So again, then we take
He's
the
just
justice.
doing his job.
Huh?
He's just doing his job.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
And I'm saying is, how do you get justice out of that?
Okay.
Say,
Because the training
the training takes
contributed to that.
takes away the justice. Justice means I have a fair trial. I'm innocent until you prove me guilty. You see what I mean? But if you shoot me on the spot, I'm guilty, and you the executioner, all at the same time. So where's the justice at?
So are you saying that this has been going on, or?
This is continuous all over the United States. That's why a policeman feels he can shoot you. He goes in with impunity. What you gonna do to him? And now people get mad. Oh, they're gonna do something to the police. Why not? They just as corrupt as can be. We used to have here in Grand Rapids, I won't call his name, but those who've been in Grand Rapids long enough know, that was his job, is to keep us in line. He was for the black folk. That's how he made his rank.
Was he African American?
Huh?
Was he African American?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was bad. Something nobody
And it
messed
was
with.
his job to
Keep us in line.
Okay.
He was the highest ranking one. He became captain. We had two of them. Well, we had one. Used to be the deputy sheriff, chief. That was the highest ranking, but that's as high as we got. They won't right now. We should have a black policeman. Chief, we should. Do we have one? Nope.
But didn't you have a black mayor for a while here? Or?
We did.
And
Lyman
how was
Parks.
that? What was his name?
Lyman Parks.
Lyman Parks?
Yeah, he used to be the pastor of AME, church right on the corner of James and Logan.
AME, the Methodist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, he was. He wasn't a bad one. And hopefully we'll have another black one. Pastor Robert Dean is running now for that office. I don't know if you know him or not.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, he's running for that office right now. He used to be a
I
state.
do have to interview a few people from the community too, that don't necessarily come here, but they're like businesses.
Oh yeah, well you should.
So we'll probably talk about that.
Yeah,
See
Pastor
what you
Dean.
suggest.
Yeah, Pastor Dean is be one of them. He has a good reach. We all kind of grew up together,
Okay.
and he went into. He was on the school board. He was from the school board. He was a city commissioner, and from a city commissioner, he went to be state representative, and then now he's running for mayor. Yeah.
Now you have a lot of skills in terms of housing and the community development and all that. How do you see? Because right now, they're doing the rapids. They want to change the water flow. They wanted to make it an international city, like Athens or Rome or something like that. And they want to, they basically want to make it walkable for the whites that are moving in. A creative class of professionals and all that, students and that. The universities all involved with that. I go to Grand Valley, they're involved in all that.
Right.
And so, but by doing that, even though they're saying that they want affordable housing, it's not profitable for a lot of developers to build affordable housing. So people are being kind of kicked out.
The homeless side.
Poor and African Americans, Latinos are going to be kicked out away from downtown again. You know what I'm saying? So, do you see any way to
counteract that?
Be for improvement, but at the same time maintain the community there? Some of the residents. How can we do it?
Well, one of the things is the fact, in order for us, the Latino and the black community, we have to be at the table. That's the first thing. We got to be at the table in the planning. And the table means not just sitting there, but have a decision-making portion of it, because it affects all of us. But as we speak now, we don't have that. We don't have that connection. That, you know, one of the biggest problems that we have is the disconnect between those who are quote unquote in leadership in the black community and leadership in the Hispanic community. Well, I won't mention her name, but you probably know her. Very, very, very strong in the Latin community, Hispanic community. But then after that, that's a drop off. Okay? Now, if you say in the black community, there's no one leader no more. You know, we got people, and one of the things is they try to identify people as leaders because of their jobs. Not because of them, but because of their job. For example, they'll say the NAACP, okay, is a leader. Well, in Grand Rapids, you don't hear nothing about no NAACP. They just got a new leadership, but for the last 40 years, 50 years, they don't do nothing. Urban League, the previous president, he was always in this stuff. And he made some things happen. He was a pusher. Then he left, and it's a drop off. So we don't have anybody to really to say who is community related as well as at the table. You follow what I'm saying? And that's what we need. We need people at the table, and more preachers involved. That's the hardest part right there, is getting preachers involved. But then that's how I feel.
Okay. Any final thoughts?
Well, my prayer is the fact is, first of all, I got to throw this in there. I'm the pastor of the Praying Hands Abundant Blessed Church, located at 637 Michigan. My prayer is that we, first of all, come together in a communal area. In other words, pastors come together and be closer, not jockeying for membership, but jockeying for soulship. And soulship equals itself out to better citizens. You know, we got people shooting and killing each other in the streets, and the only thing we doing is burying them. You know, and I think that needs to change. We need to really not march, because who you marching against, but yourself. But really come down and start working and open our doors to the churches, not with just set programs, but programs and things that are going to be relevant to the lifestyle that you have. You know, the way if you're a broom sweeper, floor sweeper, right? Teach you how to sweep it better, not make you move from that, because that might be your level of accomplishment right there. There was a great philosopher said, Maslow said, no man can rise any higher than his level of incapability. And we keep trying to push folk beyond their capabilities. You follow me? And we need to start focusing on that. Where are you? What do you really want to do? And if you don't know what you're doing, let us suggest things and find out your skill level. Because everybody's not college material. That's one of the biggest mistakes we make right there. We want to make everybody college material. They're not. Because somebody's got to change the tire on a car. Do we make him any less? No. There's somebody got to change some bedpans and make it any less than the nurse? No. And once we start getting that, you know, taking pride in what you do, care what it is, and take the stigma away from it, I think we will always have some problems here. But we're hoping and praying and moving toward that thing. That's why I am a member of the Friend of the Court Board. Instead of sending people to jail, let's work out some arrangements so they can pay. And there are some people, they will never catch up. So let's give some relief for those people. We help them find jobs now. That's important. Ain't no sense in putting a man in jail, because it don't make no kind of sense. And I will tell this little part about that is there was a time I owed the Friend of the Court $68,000 because I got mad. I wasn't going to pay nothing. I turned around and I paid that $68,000, and I moved from being owing to running it on their board. And I thank the Lord that, because it just said, you got to change your mindset. you keep your same mindset, you'll keep on doing. Because a lion is just a lion, whether you put him in a cage or he on the plane. And if you think he changed because he's in a cage, get in there with him. And that's what we need to do, start changing people's mindset so they can really appreciate who they are, what they are, and be proud. You know? Everybody's not going to be an Obama. Everybody's not going to be a Michelle Obama. So I thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Bishop Durham. I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Jose.